Alright guys, I think we've got our sound all configured here and our PlayStation controller set up. So today we are embarking on the last 5 billion in Pokemon Pinball Ruby Sapphire on the Sapphire table. This is a save file that I've been working on for about 6 months now. I've been playing it almost daily on my Game Boy Micro. And it's been a lot of fun kind of rekindling my love for this game. But I'm only doing it because I initially had a game going for basically since I was a kid. My sister and I would pass this game back and forth, and whenever one of us lost, we'd pass it to the next one, going on car trips to my grandma's house. And at one point, I had a game going long enough where that game never got back to my sister. And then, I ended up playing it pretty much all through high school. Intermittently through college. I even remember, I think the last time I picked this up was when our first daughter was in the hospital. When my wife was in the hospital giving birth to our first daughter. So it's been a journey, and I got the initial save up to 987 billion, I think, and then made a dumb mistake and got mad when a ball had drained and shut my Game Boy off, not even thinking about it. And that was that. That was it for that save file. It was erased, never to live anywhere again. It's not like it was on an emulator or anything like that. It was on my Game Boy Advance Micro, and was kind of devastated for like a day. And, I had been working on that game for 20-some years. And after that, I decided, let's try to do it right. So this last January, I got it started again, and have just been plugging away, taking that Game Boy in my pocket pretty much wherever I go, sitting in line at the drive-thru and playing it, just whenever I get a spare chance. So it's been going for about 6 months now, since late January, and we are looking at the last 5 billion on this before we see, hopefully, I assume, the score table maxed out at 999 billion. So, this will be a fun journey. I've got my PlayStation 4 controller, I've got my garage sale PlayStation 4 controller configured here. Got the sound configured, I think. I apologize in advance if the audio isn't amazing. I'm recording this just through one microphone, and I've got the sound blasting out of my computer. And technically playing this on cartridge, using an actual cartridge from Epilogue. So they make a little Game Boy Advance cartridge reader, and you can play games on your computer. So shout out to them. It's been awesome. But let's get this going. Alright, here we go. I started a Rayquaza stage, or got one queued up so we can start with something fun. So we're at 995, 188. So 5 billion to go. We'll see if it maxes out at 999. We know the Pokemon counter maxes out at 999, so that was 800 billion points ago, so... Decent start there. The main thing to avoid in this is just dropping down the dead center, because every now and then you get caught in one of his whirlwinds and just drops you straight down in a spot where like your flippers can't even touch it. So, which I obviously don't want to do, because if I do that, then I end up losing, on this stage, like 100 billion plus, because you go from Master Ball to Ultra Ball. So I always try to play with the Master Ball, obviously. just because that ×4 multiplier is like so huge when you're doing a run like this and you're trying to just accumulate points wherever you go. So I don't even want to know like the amount of time that I've probably wasted just going to the top of this board and maxing out my my ball type, but it's important, especially for these bonus stages. So, and it's a catch. Hey, nice. We'll open with a Rayquaza catch, which I think is an extra 120 billion. Yeah, so 120 billion plus 400 billion there. So you're talking like, sorry, million. So you're talking $500 million about. So you get your 400 million from the actual beating the stage, and then 120 million from catching Rayquaza. So you're talking $500 million, roughly, just from that stage alone, as long as you have the Master Ball. Keep the fun going here. Get a little Gyarados. I love the music in this game, but I think the Evo music especially is probably going to haunt my dreams, just because it's like, it sounds so tense and stressful, and I feel like more often than in any other mode, Evos can end up going like to the end of your timer, just because sometimes the game decides to put the experience like in the middle of the shroomish or something that's legitimately like kind of difficult to get to. So that and the travel music. I think the travel music is probably the worst. I don't know if that's a universal opinion, but you know, we'll probably hear it. I never intend to travel. It's always an accident. Got our Gyarados. Go to our slot here. This will be a bonus stage. Yeah. Go to Duskull. Only have an Ultra Ball, but that's okay. Sometimes these stages go super quick and they're super easy. Sometimes the Duskulls don't seem to want to participate with you, so they all kind of hide in the corners up there. That's alright. We're just kind of getting our bearings. There's like just ever so slightly, like, you know, half a millisecond of lag probably on this PlayStation controller, so just kind of calibrating my brain. I mean, it's literally 20 years of muscle memory just programmed into these reactions. And again, I've mostly been playing on a Game Boy, so it's a little weird to be playing on a PlayStation controller on a screen that's like 4 times the size of the Game Boy Micro. So there we go. Always seems easiest to go around the top for those, because then sometimes you end up getting a bounce and you get multiple hits on it, so. There we go. Another 90 million. Creeping up on 996. It's crazy how fast that happens when you go through a Rayquaza stage. And now we got Pelipper lit up too. That was almost a death drop. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's do a catch and an Evo. Let's keep going. So if you haven't played before, best way to upgrade your ball is right at the top there. You light up those 3 lights. Dang it. Here we go. Here's the travel music. Make it stop. There we go. It's just too shrill. It's too shrill. Doesn't help that I'm having to blast my computer audio so you guys can actually hear the game audio too. But that's okay. I can survive. Got our egg hatch ready to go. Anorith. Gotta use those bumpers. Yeah, I started playing the Ruby board a little bit the other day, just kind of for, I guess, practice of playing on the computer. And I had honestly forgot that the Ruby board didn't have the zigzagoon, which is just super clutch in helping you choose whatever is in the slot. And when you're doing a long run like this, like being able to actually select the bonus stage and cycle through those way faster just helps speed things along. So if I do attempt this same thing, maxing out the scoreboard on Ruby, I suspect it will take quite a bit longer than it's taken on Sapphire. And if Sapphire's taken 6 months, like Ruby might take a year. I don't know. Plus then you can't like get extra balls as easily, and it's just tough. Back down here. There we go. Man, every now and then I'll fail a hatch just because if the ball gets caught somewhere on the board and you can't get it to hit the Pokemon, it's tough. There we go. Got a little Azurill. Guess we'll do one more catch. Oops, not that way. We could do Pelipper too, but I at least want to get this one going. See, no Zigzagoon ready this time. We're just at the mercy of the wheel. Let's see, let's do our last catch here. Not our last catch, but for this one. Wingull. Such a good game. Like, they incorporated like the Who's That Pokemon thing in the catching sequence. Like, whoever's idea that was. It's just so good. Because this could have just been like some other, you know, skinned pinball game that they already had assets for. But, like, this game was clearly made with, like, a lot of thought and love in mind. Ooh. Kyogre! I really like the Kyogre stage. It's fun. It's pretty. It's different almost every time, honestly. And it's like 1,000 times easier than the Groudon stage. At least it seems like to me. It is at least nice having a controller back that both of the bump buttons work on, because I've been playing on that Game Boy Micro long enough that I think the left shoulder button just stopped working. I opened it up, I cleaned things out with some alcohol, and nothing seemed to get that button back, so kind of sad. That's why I had to reconfigure the buttons in the beginning of this one, just because previously when I was playing on my Micro, I had reassigned, I think, the B button and another button to be the actual bumping buttons, so... And those are super useful in this game, because it just helps you control where the ball rests and... Let's see, this shouldn't be a catch. It should be a regular old stage. There we go. And 996. 996 billion. Billion. Let's see. What do you think? Helper stage now, except the start slot's gonna stop me. Woo. We'll just do the big. Okay, Helper. We're gonna try. Go. That can be a death one. There's so many spots in this game where it's just trying to make your ball go straight down the drain. But this board's probably the most lenient. Like, it seems to have more space and, I don't know, opportunities to kind of control the ball. Here we go. So here's the Sphere bonus stage if you haven't seen it. If you're cringing right now, you're probably a speedrunner of this game. Speedrunners tend to hate this stage just because it does not advance you towards any goals. It's kind of just a fun thing for points, and you can't do anything to get through it faster than the full 2 minutes that are on the clock. So they hate it. I like it because as long as your ball doesn't drain, you can get decent points. Because it's, I think, 5 million for each Sphere that makes it in, and then 1 million for each Pokeball that makes it in. And then you got your multiplier, so... Like, there are times, it won't be probably amazing this time, since we got the Ultra Ball, but there are times when you can make, like, you know, 200 million points just on this stage. Which equates to a Kyogre stage. So, there's really no need to avoid it, at least when you're doing a points run. And I missed one there. I also do not know if there is literally any rhyme or reason as to why they pop up or they pop in the water. Like, I haven't found the difference if you hit them down, if you leave them alone. My strategy lately has just been hitting them all down, like, immediately whenever they pop up, like a game of whack-a-mole, just because you might as well get them out of the way in case one does pop up on the ramp. But I don't know what actually makes them come up in the water or come up on the ramp. It might just be entirely random, or there might just be something that in this entire game I have entirely not picked up on. Fun fact, my daughter hates it when the stage gets to this point because, like the rest of us, that music stresses her out. Like 41 times 3, 123. That's more than a Duskull stage. So. If you don't know, you activate the Spheal/Pelipper bonus stage by hitting the Shroomish 100 times up at the top of the board there. I didn't know that until I saw somebody post it, I think in G Medley's Discord. Again, that's a thing that I was, you know, like, again, just never realized until this point in the game. So, let's Evo a Corphish here. Looks like we're at the top of the board somewhere. Just let it go down. Maybe it's at the top? Top that way, okay. Top, middle. I don't know if there's even sequences to where the EXP ends up popping up. I know for a fact that it can't pop up in the middle of the Shroomish until after you've beaten the Rayquaza stage, I believe. So that's nice of the game to kind of go easy on you for the first little bit, but then after that, no holds barred. It seems like it ends up in the Shroomish impossible spot like every single time, so. We haven't seen that so far this run, at least this recording though, so. I wish I could have had this whole run like streamed or recorded in some fashion, but like it just wasn't really feasible. You know, we've got 3 kids, and there's no way that I was going to be able to spend the time coming out to my office to play Pokemon for like several hours a day. That's why I ended up playing it in the Game Boy Micro, just because it was easier to take it on the go and just play whenever it was available. Another Anorith. Just another really pretty stage design on this one, too. So I think the best stage design is probably the Kecleon one on the Ruby board. It's got like grass and puddles, and oh, it's just so pretty. My wife used to do pixel art, so I've got an appreciation for the work that goes into creating those scenes. That was handy. Ooh. Computer jumped for a second there, that was not cool. Dang it. Bum, 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 ba-dum. There we go. Sorry, I like to sing a little bit. I'll try not to too much in this one. But if I ever do stream, that will probably be a problem. I'll be humming along. Let's do Evo. Jigglypuff, why not? Let's collect some moons. Wigglytuff. So I know right now they're also working on they're working on decompiling this game in a way where you'll be able to eventually like change things about it, modify things. I know there's still work to be done, and it's a lot of like really long lines of code and terrible things to get through that I know absolutely nothing about. But once that is done, I'd love to see somebody make a version of this, at least where like your Pokemon counter doesn't max out at 999. Just because like you hit 999 Pokemon probably like between 100 and 200 billion, and there's more than a few people that have done that in the score. Or even a counter that separates catches and evos would be kind of cool. Catches and evos both max out on the end of ball bonus at 99. So once your Pokemon counter maxes out, it's kind of tough to keep track of, like, you know, how much do I have left until I hit that max on the ball bonus? Because it kind of stinks to get to an end of ball bonus and be like, oh, I caught some and evoed some after that limit, where you're not getting any like extra points for it, obviously. Back to Kyogre already. And then the next slot that we have will be, I believe, a bonus stage 2. So. It's kind of where I always aim in this one. I try to go for Kyogre's armpit, because sometimes you do get like multiple hits out of hitting that area. If you time those right when Kyogre uses dive, you can also get multiple hits. But you do want to delay a little bit, so then you can stop it from using its ice attack. Catch, so I believe it takes more hits. I never count though. There we go. I think that's 40 million? For the catch. Let's see. Yep, 40 million for the catch. 200 million for that. And 200 million to go before we hit 997. First. That's just using an upwards bump to get the Pokeball travel a little bit farther up to fill that slot blinker. Sorry, hole. I'm not sure why it doesn't say slot instead of hole, because you got 4 letters there too. But whatever, I didn't make the game. We don't need an extra ball. We'll skip the progress of having to go through another catch and evo and go straight to Rayquaza. Sorry if the audio sounds like a little, I don't know, echoey. It's loud in here. I don't know. I figure that's better than the alternative of only having audio of me talking. And there is actually a setting in OBS Studio to capture audio directly from the application and then balance things out. Unfortunately, I would have to update my Mac OS in order to do that, and my Mac is now old enough to where it does not have software updates anymore. So the old planned obsolescence is to thank for the slightly boomy, echoey audio you're hearing in this one. So if I do start streaming, hopefully I can either upgrade my computer or find some kind of solution so we don't have to listen to echoes the whole time. But for this, just for documentation purposes, good enough. There we go, $9.97 and a quarter. Like, that's just how much faster it is on the Sapphire board versus Ruby, because we were just able to skip a whole cycle of either, you know, 3 catches or an Evo and a catch, you know, both of which together would probably combine to take another 4 minutes, I'm gonna guess. And when you're talking about a game that has taken 6 months to complete, that's probably saved a fair amount of time, so. Where are we hiding Evo? Up top. Of course we go into the shroomish there and we don't even need it. Sometimes the easiest things are the hardest things to do. You can quote me on that, because it sounds really dumb. Yep, knew it. Knew it would put it in the shroomish. We were kind of due. We were kind of due, so that's fair. So this one, my strategy is always to go around the top and then drop it in, like that. And then I usually use one of the bumpers, and that just, it shifts them enough to where the ball can just sneak between. Otherwise, sometimes you can go up the Pelipper ramp and it'll get lucky and you'll dump it into the middle, but it doesn't happen often enough for me to do that. And I figure as long as you're playing, you might as well go around the top and upgrade your ball while you're there, so. Guess I don't really need a Master Ball right now, so I'll just go into the slot. Pelipper's ready. Stopped it on the big. I don't know why I thought it was going to do that on its own, but... And sometimes I try to get it in the top for a ball upgrade and it just bounces around and doesn't do the thing. So... But I'd like to get Pelipper out of the way so I don't waste a bunch of shroomish hits on not getting a bonus stage out of it. Sometimes that's a death drop. That was really close too. Whew! How many Anoriths have we caught so far? Also, if you're just watching for the first time, this is I assume probably the first video that I'll end up posting on my channel. I'm going to try to be a family-friendly channel, just because I think it would be nice to one day be able to like stream a game and then, you know, have my kids watch it or whatever and not have to worry about, you know, obscenities and horrible things like that. So I used to curse like a sailor, man. I worked at a car dealership, so curse like a sailor, curse like a car salesman. But after you have kids, you're not really allowed to do that anymore. Or at least you probably shouldn't. Or if you do curse, at least, like, you know, teach your kid the meanings. Oh, too early. Too soon. Too soon, Junior. Ah. One more hit. There we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. What's in our start slot today? I'll do bonus multipliers through the rest of this game, like leading up to this point. Those are always really important, because if you get your end of ball bonus multiplier up to 99, like, you're making anywhere between like 5 and I think close to 15 billion points on the end of the ball, depending on how long it survived at least. So it's just habit to be hitting those. I don't necessarily want to hit those right now. Just because, like, at this point in the game, I don't want to get an end of ball bonus that's like 4 billion points and just be like, okay, that's the high score. I think it'd be cooler to like watch that last billion like roll up and watch it count. So, though I suppose if you do get it on a ball bonus, it's not the end of the world, because as long as you don't click through to the menu, it'll rack it up and you can watch it go up. So maybe that's okay. That'll probably save some time too. But before it gets too much farther into the bonus here, I'll probably start draining a couple, because obviously we have 8 balls right now, and we won't be needing those. Those have just been basically a buffer the entire game. Crawdaunt. So daunting. He's probably dauntless. Big. It's big. What can I say? That was big. It's big for the channel. That's big for the channel. Got our ball upgraded. Release Wingle from his prison. Next bonus stage is Kyogre. like that. Just being able to bump it from one side to the next. Kind of position yourself better for the next shot. Like, there you go. Got a couple hits on there. And I'm not exactly sure how much, but I know you get points for every impact in this level. Let's see, we're at 997,482. One hit here. 484. So you get 2 million. 2 million each time you hit Kyogre. Another 2 million. Or half a million if you don't have a ball bonus on. Quick and easy there. There we go, 997,690. Like, that's the strategy, man. Just keep the Master Ball, keep cycling through the bonus stages. Don't drain it. Get your bonus on the Pelipper up to 999 or 99. Yeah. It's not that complex. It's just it takes patience. I feel like, you know, you'll look at the high scoreboards on retro achievements. And there's quite a few that are over, like, I don't know, 10 billion probably. But honestly, like, if you can get to the point where you're hitting 10 billion, like, you've got every skill that you need to hit 999. It's just a matter of committing the time and doing it. And weirdly, not everybody wants to spend 6 months playing the same game. So here we are. Shop it. Wow, what an electrocution. Oh, that's not ideal. This is not ideal. We're about to lose it. We're gonna lose it. Bye, Shuppet. Well, you know. See, there you go. Now you know that I'm human, at least, I guess. Dang it, and we're gonna miss our bonus stage. Hey, ball upgrade, though. Because that would have been too tough to do that way. Alright. Spin the effort of catching another Pokemon. If it's Anorith again, I will travel. Because I think we've got like 5 now. And that's too many. That's too many. You know, you gotta leave some. I think that's probably the limit of catching Anorith. Love Disc, okay. I do remember that being part of the storyline in the games. Heart scales and all that. I don't remember a ton of detail, but... Back to Duskull. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Evan, this is kind of repetitive. A little bit. But it's fun to watch the big number go up, right? Missed my timing there. Getting sloppy. 3, 4, 5. Always 5 hits for Dusclops. Let's get out of there. You don't realize how often you use the bump buttons until you have one that doesn't work. Like, there are times when you can legitimately just be stuck in those shroomish for like a minute. Maybe if we have a decent round, this could be the one that puts us over 998. But maybe not with this start. I need you guys to cooperate and go up the ramp when I'm available to hit you up the ramp. There we go, that's decent. Again, I wish I knew what made you guys come up in the water versus on the ramp. Ooh, that was close. If you hit the seal at the wrong time there, he'll drop Sphere, and it's a sad thing. You don't want to make a sad little seal pufferfish thing sad. I guess a pufferfish would be quillfish, but still. He always looked kind of pufferfishish to me. Fishish. That's a word. That was sloppy. No! No time left to actually get any points off of them. Oh, maybe one more. Maybe one more. 2. As long as that third bounce happens before time runs out, you get credit for it. So it doesn't even have to actually go through the hoop. There we go. Whoo! Just squeaked past 998. Less than 2 billion to go. Could probably drain the ball right now and be extremely close. but we're not going to do that. We're going to play it out. It might be the last time that I play the Sapphire board for a year. Who knows? And then I'll be sick of the Ruby board. It's another Anorith. Okay, we're gonna travel. We're gonna intentionally travel after this because I'm tired of catching Anorith. Oh, that was sweet. That almost never happens. If you manage to time it right behind it when it pops up, all 3 catch hits happen in quick sequence. That was fun. I feel like I only saw that happen on Callum's channel, like, maybe a week or 2 ago? Shout out Callum Smile, if anybody wants another Pokemon Pinball streamer to watch. Maybe not with the kids in the room, but, you know, he's funny. Otherwise, every now and then, he streams a lot more than Pokemon Pinball, but G-Medley, he'll stream, and that's a good time. That's a mostly family-friendly time, mostly. Like, we've had that stream on in the background, and, you know, anything that was maybe not meant for kids, like, they didn't pick up on it, so. It's like the adult jokes in a Pixar movie. He knew that I didn't travel. And was like, I'm gonna call you out, Evan. I'm gonna show up again just to remind you that you did not stay true to your word. This one should be a catch, and then it'll be Rayquaza after this one. Which, again, is like 500 million points. So, like, if you go in pretty quick succession, and you hit, like, a Kyogre stage, oops, and then a Rayquaza stage immediately after, you're talking, like, 3/4 billion points in, like, 5 minutes. So... that's why I say I average like 1 billion every 15 minutes. I don't know if that's necessarily taking into account the end of ball bonus. Just because that varies so much, that's kind of hard to calculate. I don't know why they decided to program it so spamming the flippers when you're encased in ice makes it come out faster. But it is what it is. They probably figured they would end up selling a couple more consoles if they did that. Just through broken buttons. Probably not. It's probably just easy to program. surprised that wasn't it. There we go. One more. Get our catch, get our 40 million from that. Ouch. Okay, travel for sure after this, I promise. I promise to Unearth. Let's try to do a travel. Okay, I'm not used to having to go for the travel button, but we're really good at hitting that bumper. Luckily, that other bumper did it for me. Let's see what we get here. Sure. I don't think it will matter. Pelipper, engage. There we go. An intentional travel. Maybe the only time. Enjoy it. Enjoy this beautiful music. Maybe it just sounds bad because it's through these speakers or something. I don't know. Maybe it sounds great in a regular Game Boy without the volume blasted. Entirely possible. Sometimes this one spot is kind of hard to get. Oh my gosh. Well, the hatch is ready now, so that's good. No! There we go. A full minute in. And now we have to get the one that's in the tough spot. See, like, usually it just kind of gets rejected from that ramp. Granted, I guess sometimes I go around and it doesn't even get it down into the shroomish, so I'm not sure which of those is the worst strategy. That's certainly not the strategy. You know what? I didn't want to evolve Igglybuff anyway. Oh, now I do. Now I want to evolve Igglybuff. Let's get it. Let me down. Whew. 6 whole seconds left. That was stressful. Daughter's favorite Pokemon. Jigglypuff. Because of course. Though she was a little disappointed in Jigglypuff when she learned that Jigglypuff draws on people's faces when they sleep. Couldn't avoid that. The stage is just watching, like, the timing of the bounce. Because you can only hit Rayquaza when he's bouncing down. And you have to keep the ball moving when he does his thunder attack, because otherwise he electrocutes you. Which isn't very nice. But it's not as bad as the wind attack that throws everything into chaos. And does that. Just getting double tornadoed over here. This should be a catch, too, if I recall. So by the end of this stage, honestly, we might be just shy. Oh, dang it. Okay, yeah, we'll be shy for sure. We won't be at 999 just yet. Every tornado. So, I'm gonna get 90 for that. That'll be 520, 824 by the end of this. I think. There we go. 824. Almost at 999. Zubat. Nice. Try not to fail this one. Uh-oh. Ooh. That was terrifying. Let's not freeze again. Just timing. So close to 999. I don't know why. That quick little computer freeze, got me nervous. Because I think if like we lost power or something right now, or just froze, I'm pretty sure we would just lose all 6 months of progress, and we'd just be starting over. So let's not do that. It honestly makes it tempting to just like drain the ball right now and watch the score max out on the ball bonus, but I don't know. That doesn't seem like the right way to do it. We'll do it really dramatically, like catching a barboach or something instead. Actually, maybe we'll do it on a Sfeel stage, just for all the Sfeel haters out there. This will be small. Nope. Big. Who knows? We could max it out on a slot play. That'd be kind of funny. Why Zubat? I don't know. He sounded fun. What if the game just freezes when it hits 999? That'd be kind of devastating. I don't know why that would be a thing. It's probably not a thing, but... I don't have anxiety, you have anxiety. What are you talking about? I would love a ball upgrade here, though, because... Kyogre... with a Great Ball doesn't sound awesome. There we go. I just wanted you to hear the full loop of the Kyogre music. This will put us over 999 to start. just missed him. Hey, 999. Look at that. Less than 1 billion to go, folks. Just trucking right along here. Things we really don't need at this point, but we'll do anyway, out of tradition. Yeah, you can get caught in a loop here. You just, keep doing that, but not when the start slot activates. Oh! Well, we're going to Pelipper. Let's do Spiel stage. Also, the white balance on my webcam just kind of finally figured itself out, so it's nice for that to show up. Double, nice. Don't go up there. It is kind of annoying if you don't have them, like, somewhat staggered. Because what they can end up doing, just missed that one, is one will hop up the ramp and then one will immediately block the ramp. Also, you might have heard kind of recently, at least within the past like few months, but an actual physical Pokemon Pinball table, like cabinet, proper cabinet came out. It doesn't exactly resemble the game, but there is like a catch mode and some other stuff. It looks pretty fun. Our local arcade actually has one. Our local game store, Heroes and Villains, has one. Have not played it, but looks like a good time. I do wish somebody would create like as close as they could get to like a one-of-one replica of either the Sapphire or the Ruby board. That'd be super cool. $999 $365. Okay, alright, that's probably enough of that. Big. Oh, one whole billion points. Just kidding, 1 million points. 1 billion would actually be big. save us a ramp trip there.
Okay,
Come on, it's not that hard. Gotta remember the next slot is the bonus stage slot, so gotta get Zigzagoon ready. But first, some Duskull Whack-A-Mole. Oops. $9.99.5. Go to Kyogre. Bum, 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 Uh-oh. That might go down the middle. Nope. Usually if you flip them both at the same exact time, you can save that one. Ah, just missed it. slow Kyogre. That's okay. I wonder if you get a few extra million points if you do that, because then like you actually end up hitting it a few more times. But there we go. There's our catch. $9.99, 8. We're getting close, guys. Next bonus stage, which is Rayquaza, which will easily put us over. Pichu. Gotta collect them moonstones. Let's let that go down. Get it on the ramp. Of course, the ramp that we just came down. Trying to upgrade my ball first before we go to Rayquaza. There we go. Wiggly tough. Alright, now Mr. Quasi. I'm legit like a little bit nervous right now because this will hopefully be the last bonus stage that does it. Okay, start. gotta get both tornadoes just for consistency. Here we go. Let's watch the score. Let's watch the score here. And nines. Look at that. Maxed out. We did it. It's still counting. We're not getting anything for it. But, you know, whatever. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Wow. Yeah. That's cool. I'm just gonna do... I'm gonna take a picture of my screen really quick. There we go. What should we get on our... Gotta add that bonus multiplier, you know, otherwise... 999999999. And I think just for good measure, we'll buy an extra ball. Just so we can see 9 balls on there too. I know I have 0 coins now, but... Yeah, I didn't know if it would stop at 9s, or like I legitimately thought there's got to be a spot for a 1 in there. You know, you could do a 1 trillion and like essentially double the playable game time. But that's fine. They don't need to do that. Maybe whenever they finish decompiling the game, that can be a feature they add. Because I mean, you've got space there for another several digits, so. Nobody would be crazy enough to play it, I think, to max out 999 trillion, but... Yes, I'm going to max out the coins now. Well, until I start missing this ramp and then this gets boring again. Oh. Sure. We'll hatch a Pokemon while we're here. Or I guess we could just keep going up the coin ramp while Surfskit runs around. I don't know if G Medley would forgive me though, since he's a bug. Guess we're catching him. Okay, well now I can't do that because I don't want to go up the Pelipper. We could do a slot though. we go. There's everything maxed out at 9s, and we'll watch this ball bonus accumulate. Like, we probably could have ended this like an hour ago with the ball bonus, but... 1 billion. And as you can see, it's not adding to our score at all. So we'll probably click through that. We'll drain the rest of these Pokeballs down and call it a game. Of course, we have the ball savers for a little while. So, yeah. Appreciate anybody that tuned in and actually stayed to watch this. I don't know of anybody else that has recorded maxing out the score, because I don't know if anybody else is crazy enough to play the same game for 6 months straight, but it's been fun. So again, I started doing this run in January. It took about 6 months, but I only started this run because I had done one previously, like literally since I was a kid. Like, my sister and I used to play this game on car trips going to my grandma's, which would take like 5 hours, and we would just pass my Game Boy back and forth. You know, once you lost a game, it was the other person's turn. And eventually I had a game going long enough that it was never my sister's turn again. So I had literally the same save file going from when I was probably in, I'm going to say middle school, and then played it through high school, occasionally in college. The last time I remember playing it after college was while I was waiting for delivery of our first daughter. So when my wife was in the hospital, pushing through labor pains, I was sitting on the husband couch playing Pokemon Pinball. And that went on for, you know, a while longer. I would occasionally get it out on like family trips or something, but didn't play it a ton until just this last January, where we had a long flight and I wanted to, you know, pass the time doing something offline. So Pokemon Pinball on the Game Boy Micro, which is right here. Good old Game Boy Micro. Got me through it. Went on that trip, had the score up to like 987 billion points. And once a ball drained, I just rage quit, which was really, really dumb. Never rage quit. Shut off the Game Boy and turned it back on, and the save file was completely gone. So I'd gotten it up to like 987 billion, and then it was no more. There was no more save file for that. So I took like a day to mourn my mistake, and then just decided, you know what, if I could do that over that many years, I wonder how quickly I could do it. Just, you know, putting some time in every single day, and turns out about 6 months. 6 months is about what that takes. So now, if you were a like professional streamer and your job was just streaming video games, and say you really grinded and you committed like 8 hours a day to doing it, you could probably get it done in like a month, I would bet. But man, you'd be going crazy at the end of that. Honestly, playing it like an hour each day or an hour or two, it's not that bad, because it is a fun game. But 8 hours a day, it would probably just be too much. So what do we got left? 3 balls left after this, and then we'll be able to submit our score. Easily one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games. I can't remember if it came out on Nintendo Switch recently, if they made that available for like a digital download type of thing, or it might have been in like I think it was in the Nintendo eShop for a while. I'm not sure if it is anymore, but you know, most people are playing on emulators and stuff like that, but I'm actually playing this on a little thing called a GB Operator by Epilogue. I actually have the box right here. So you can get a GB Operator, put in your cartridge from your childhood, open up that save file, and keep the magic going. So that's what we've been doing here. So hopefully whenever they finish decompiling the game and they can make edits, I'm curious what are the first kind of modifications that will be done to it. Like I mentioned earlier, I would love to see a counter that goes past 999 Pokemon. But I mean, you could do anything. Adding like additional generations of Pokemon, that would be super cool. You could also, you know, add shinies. That would be awesome. I'd love like the random chance at getting a shiny Pokemon. I think the only ones that I don't have in here, aside from like maybe a few on the Ruby board, again since I haven't played the Ruby board, are the the starters. I don't have the starters because you have to scan a special card from Japan that was only in like Nintendo Pokemon centers in Japan to promote the release of the game. But, you know, I believe there are emulator and ROM files out there that people have those unlocked on. So I did buy one copy from Japan. Actually, see if I have it here. Right here. So I did buy a Japanese copy just for fun, mostly just because it was cheaper than the backup USA copy. US copy was like $50. The Japanese one was like 20-ish plus shipping. So it's nice to have the cartridges, though. I mean, I was secretly hoping that on the Japanese cartridge it would have the starters unlocked, but no such luck. So all right, here we go. Let's drain this last one. And there we go. That's a game 20 some years in the making. Granted, this run was 6 months in the making, but you know, overall, I've been playing a save file for forever on this, and can finally submit it to the high scores. There we go. All right, let's put it in here. I used to save all my files as bois. We'll just put my regular human name. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. If you like Pokemon Pinball content, subscribe, because there will be more. And I'll get a better audio setup next time, I promise. And probably a better green screen setup. This was just kind of something quick, so. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And whatever you're playing, hope you enjoy the next game. Bye, everybody.